As you have figured out, I am a huge Jurassic Park fan. The first Jurassic Park is my third favorite movie of all time. I enjoy the sequels while finding JP3 just average. And I like the Netflix series except for season 4. But there are legit things I don't like about the franchise. I'm not someone who mindlessly consumes a product with no critical thoughts, or just because of the brand name. Like, I may not watch that upcoming show depending on how the first look turns out. Anyway, I've gathered 10 things from the Jurassic Park / World franchise that I don't like. With that being said, let's get into this. Number 10. Kenji and Brooklyn's sudden romance in Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous. Now, I actually don't have a problem with Kenji and Brooklyn as a couple. My issue is how out of left field it came. There was nothing that led up to it. I know some fans take issue with Yaz and Sammy becoming a couple, but not because of homophobia, but because it felt like it was pandering to fans. I disagree with this personally because time was spent establishing their relationship. For Brooklyn and Kenji, on the other hand, there was no setup or payoff, and honestly it would have been better for something like Season 5. Number 9. Seasons 4 and 5 of Camp Cretaceous not taking place on Isla Sorna. When Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous was confirmed, there was word that it would take place on Isla Sorna, and it was originally set to be there, but there was a change of plans to a completely different island. Now, I have nothing wrong with different islands being used. I mean, Isla Nublar and Sorna are part of an archipelago known as the Five Deaths, that as of this video being uploaded, we haven't seen the rest of. And seeing that dinosaurs can swim, both in real life and this universe, it isn't a stretch to believe that dinosaurs have gotten on the other islands. Plus, the pterosaurs can just fly over. But the more I think about it, it was a huge missed opportunity not to visit Isla Sorna. Had things taken place on Isla Sorna, we could have gotten more lore and a proper farewell to the island. I mean, we got a farewell to Isla Nublar in Fallen Kingdom, why couldn't we get one for Sorna? Number 8. The Spinosaurus not having the same roars from Jurassic Park 3 in Camp Cretaceous. This may seem like a minor nitpick, but when you look into it more, you'll see why I, along with many other JP fans, take issue with this. When the Spinosaurus returned in Camp Cretaceous, I, along with many fans, was disappointed that the Spino's roar was replaced with generic sounds, as this took away a part of its identity. I don't see why they couldn't have used the same roars from Jurassic Park 3, as the Evolution games still had the same roars. Number 7. Nothing special about the Giganotosaurus. The Giganotosaurus is probably my least favorite dinosaur in the whole franchise. Now, I don't hate it. I actually appreciate how the filmmakers didn't have its design just be a bigger T-Rex with 3 fingers, unlike other Gigas in fiction. Plus, they deserve credit for making a life-size animatronic. But other than that, there's nothing special about the Giganotosaurus. Besides killing Rex's ancestor, there's nothing that sets him apart from the Spinosaurus or the I-Rex. The Giga is just another large carnivore for the T-Rex to face off against. This leads to another issue I have. Number 6. T-Rex abuse. The Tyrannosaurus Rex is the most iconic dinosaur of all time and the face of the franchise. Yet the series seems to have an obsession with turning the T-Rex into a punching bag for the new big carnivores whenever possible. This trend started in Jurassic Park 3 with the Spinosaurus, a new dinosaur that the film goes out of its way to prop up as superior. In Jurassic World, we got a fight between the Indominus Rex and Rexy. Now, this is something I can forgive as it marked Rexy's return, but 2 more movies later and... At this point, it just got old. Oh, and we got the Spino and Rex rematch in Season 5 of Camp Cretaceous that I and many other fans have moved on from. Side note, let me get this straight. This is pandering to the fans, but this isn't? Now, I'm all for new dinosaurs being introduced in the Jurassic franchise. I mean, being the most popular dinosaur series, what better way to introduce new dinosaurs to the public? But I'm sure there is a way to do it without turning the T-Rex into a punching bag. And the thing is, the franchise is capable of doing just that. In Camp Cretaceous: The Hidden Adventurer, there was the Tarbosaurus. Sure, the Tarbo's design could have been better, but she had a great gimmick that set it apart from the other carnivores, and depending on what route the player chose, she would face off with Rexy, but the fight worked because they were just crossing paths, and the Tarbo wasn't being propped up as something superior to the T-Rex. Speaking of Camp Cretaceous, one thing I liked about seasons 2 and 3 was how Rexy was utilized. She felt like a threat and was treated as such. Oh, and she got her moment to shine in the opening of Fallen Kingdom, and when Claire and Owen had to get a blood sample from her. I want more T-Rex stuff like this from the series going forward. Number 5. Deleted scenes from The Lost World and Fallen Kingdom. The Lost World and Fallen Kingdom are greatly misunderstood in my opinion, and the thing is, these misunderstandings could have been easily fixed. Both movies had a lot of scrapped scenes that gave more context and would have allowed the movies to flow better. For example, it was revealed that Ludlow had broken Junior's leg, and Iris's death from the Indoraptor got axed, explaining her absence. This leads to my next point. Number 4. No innocent characters dying from dinosaurs in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. I was careful with how I worded things for this entry, because there was an innocent character who died at the hands of a human in Fallen Kingdom.
I'm not the only guilty one here, am I, sir?
With that being said, the one thing I find of infuriating is the lack of dinosaurs killing innocent human characters. Innocent human deaths add stakes and shows that no one is safe. And I think I may know the reason for this. Fear of another backlash. See, in Jurassic World, there was a massive backlash due to Zara's death, with people claiming that her death was cruel and undeserved. I find this to be a bunch of BS because 1, Zara had one job of keeping track of the kids and failed. 2, before Jurassic World, some characters who are quote-unquote innocent ended up getting eaten in some pretty grotesque ways. Eddie Carr and Cooper, anyone?
Stop! Get out the way! No one can stop this plane!
Furthermore, I find it laughable that people will get upset over something that was part of the Jurassic franchise since Michael Crichton published the first book that had a baby getting eaten by compies in the second chapter. Number 3. Barney interrupting the Spinosaurus attack in Jurassic Park 3. The Spinosaurus boat attack could have been one of the better highlights of JP3, except the scene was ruined by cutting back to Charlie watching Barney. Like, what is even the point of adding Barney? The previous movies had scenes that were pretty brutal and did not insert something stupid like this. Barney was so unnecessary in the scene that fans have edited out Barney completely and the scene flowed just fine. Number 2. Brad overload in Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous. The Brads are the worst thing about Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous. Now, I didn't mind them at first, but when the Brad X's were introduced, that was too much for me. They overshadowed the dinosaurs, and their inclusion was too much even for my taste. Thankfully, in Season 5, they were reduced. I can handle them in small doses. Now, say what you will about the Locust in Jurassic World Dominion, but at least they were genetic, half prehistoric, and the 2015 rail shooter game had bugs as enemies, so they weren't too out of place. The same can't be said about the Brads. Number 1. Watering down the deeper themes in Jurassic Park. The original Jurassic Park book by Michael Crichton is not only an intense ride, but also filled with complex themes that the film toned down in favor of spectacle. For example, during the sick Triceratops scene, it was all, "Oh look, it's a dinosaur, so cool." Whereas the book, besides the dinosaur being a Stegosaurus instead, it was to show that this animal wasn't meant for the modern world. And when it was revealed that the dinosaurs were breeding, it was presented as, "Oh, that's cool." In the book, not only did the dinosaurs breeding play a bigger role, as the cast now had to deal with more dinosaurs, there was a big emphasis on how the system that was meant to keep track of the dinosaur population was wrong, and the ways to prevent them from breeding had failed. No one could say that the themes were too complex for kids. Except Jurassic Park is rated PG-13, as in it's for adults too. Also, I can name many kids' movies that deal with complex and mature themes. Another argument is that the movie was trying to be subtle. I can understand this, but the thing about subtlety is that it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, having no subtlety can come off as condescending, but on the other hand, when stories are subtle, the audience will completely miss the message and take years to find out its true meaning. Furthermore, I'd make the case that the book's message and themes were integrated in a way that didn't feel like it was beating the reader over the head, and that there was a way to do it in the film that didn't come off as condescending. When Jurassic Park was released, critics only liked the film for the dinosaur action and effects. Case in point?
Jurassic Park has a number of peak thrills at the level of the attacks in Jaws, and it has moments of real wonder. But when the animals are off screen, the film really lags. That wasn't true if you think about it with Jaws, which had 3 marvelous characters hunting the shark. Jurassic Park only has Goldblum. The rest of the crew stands around and smiles or schemes. Still, thumbs up for me. The action scenes are really enjoyable.
I give a thumbs up too, and also for the action scenes, and I feel that really this movie, though, is a missed opportunity, because what he doesn't have here, and what I really missed from a movie by Spielberg like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, is the sense of awe, the sense of majesty. These creatures are back, and it's amazing, and right away, after an opening shot that has a little of that,
yes, it does.
The movie disintegrates basically into a monster picture, where the dinosaurs are chasing everybody, and the people are running away, and there's lots of action and lots of screaming, but there's not really any opportunity to really give these creatures their due. It's almost like the movie doesn't have any respect for the intelligence of the audience, that they might really be interested in dinosaurs instead of just in the action scenes.
We could have used more scenes, you're right, of awe.
And this is why I put this at number 1. Because by favoring spectacle over chaos, the stigma that this film is just dinosaur action with nothing deep is now stuck forever. So there it is, 10 things I don't like about the Jurassic Park / World franchise. Again, I'm still a big JP fan, but I am not afraid to voice what I don't like about the franchise. With that being said, I'll be seeing you later.